Hello, my name is Tony Frizzelli, and I work at Evergreen Washelli Memorial Park and Cemetery in Seattle, Washington. I've been with SCI over 12 years, and across a few different markets and many different cemeteries, I've noticed that there are two main problems that tend to come up working at a cemetery. Those are memorials and service requests. So together with the team here, I just want to thank you for your time in watching today's video to share with you a brief demonstration from beginning to end on our new Airtable process that hopes to streamline and fix these two main problems. Today's video, you'll see key interviews from members of our team. You'll see the process from beginning to end, not only on the computer, but also on a cell phone. And then together, we'll schedule some time to do a follow-up training. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity of sharing this and hope to see continued tweaks and improvements. By no means is this system final. We continue daily to make adjustments that our team finds valuable, and already the transparency and accountability has been brought to another level. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the video. First, let's begin by talking about service requests. Service requests are an integral part of any location in the service to our community. Let's talk about how we can begin a request and go through the process. Together, we'll show you step by step. First, any employee can go to the top right of our service request dashboard and go to the service request entry. This service request entry form is available to anyone to be able to fill out applicable information. It will ask for the name of the employee, the deceased first and last name, the service order request type. This can be things like the facility, if something, a light bulb needs fixed, could be a grave, could be a vase, could also be a memorial issue. We'll also record any comments, the person making the request, their relationship to the deceased, how we should contact them when it's completed. And this IMAP location is our digital mapping system, much like HMIS's lot inquiry. That would be the location where the work order needs to be done. Then, if it is required for an upcoming service, they can click that as well. When this is submitted, the admin and memorial team, as well as the management team, receives an email letting them know a new service request has been submitted. We then go to the service request page where we can see all the service requests. Once a service request is started, it will need a map to be able to complete that. We will see the map needed here from our admin team. We simply scan in, or in our case, attach a PDF of the map, and it then goes to need to assign. Our superintendent receives a text message letting them know to check the Airtable app and to assign one or more of their grounds team to complete this request. Once it's assigned, that individual team member receives a message letting them know that they have just been assigned a service request. Any service request that is not completed after 4 days, they will also receive a follow-up message letting them know they have past due service requests. You can see that we've been live for about 35 days now, and we can scroll down and see that we've completed 50 service requests. In order for a service request to be complete, the individual would go in to their work order, and they can see all the information. They can see where it is, a map, what the comments are, and then go back. And once it's complete, they simply need to attach a photo and mark the date that it was completed and by whom. Then it will drop down and contribute to the complete section. On the complete section, we can see that we've completed 50 service requests. We can see which of our team members have completed those. And after they're completed, there will be a section that is need to be contacted by our family service team. They just expand the order and go in and complete the contact, and it will show contacted by. We can also see our average time to complete by type of order, and we can see how many orders and type we've completed each month. Lastly, if you want to see a specific breakdown, you can see service requests completed by day and by type. So let's show you how to complete one of those work orders. Like I mentioned, we would go into the service request. Once it's completed, the grounds or any employee who completes that would simply list their name on grounds crew completed, attach a photo from their cell phone, and then the family service team would list who contacted the family, the date that they were contacted, and any notes. Once a work order has been completed, the leadership team also will receive an email letting them know that it's complete. That's as simple as it is to track and maintain service requests. Well, Jared, thanks for taking a little bit of time to talk to me about the marker order system.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we recently moved from switching from a whole physical form of filling it out. Now we're completely digital in Airtable. How have you felt like the change has been?
Everything being paperless is super nice. It makes it a lot easier to enter all the information.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. For us, anything we can do to make it a little bit easier is better. How have you kind of seen the entering and then communicating between departments? How have you seen that go?
It all goes really well because everybody's on the same thing. Instead of having to, one person's looking for a paper, another person's looking for the same paper. It's all right at your fingertips, so it's really easy to access the information.
Great. Yeah, I think having a seamless spot where everybody can see it. To that end, I know before we used to have to look through all different sorts of spreadsheets and information to find. What have you seen now with the new dashboard?
It makes revisions a lot easier too. It's just a couple button presses and maybe entering in some things, but it makes it a lot easier than entering in a whole form.
Great. Yeah, our goal is really just from the beginning to the end to have a digital system that's visible, transparent to everyone so that you know nothing slips through the cracks. That said, I do have this marker order. Would you mind spending some time and we can enter it together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's now look at how the memorial quote and upright approval form works. From the Memorial Monitor main page, in the top right, you'll see a marker quote button. This button, once clicked, takes you to a quote and upright approval form. This single form from a family service advisor does two things. If a monetary quote is needed, by clicking this checkbox, it sends the information, once the form is complete, to the memorial department to request a quote from our vendors. If this is left blank, then this would simply be for upright approval. In our memorial park, any benches or monuments are required to be approved by our superintendent. This form, once complete, would then send the information to not only the Memorial Monitor main page, but also the operations dashboard. Let's look at how that works. On the Memorial Monitor main page, we can see that a quote is needed. Once the Memorial Monitor marker desk opens this field, they can see any quotes that are needed and go in and submit those to the vendor. On the left-hand side here, we can change this to the operations dashboard. If there's any orders that need an upright approval, the cemetery superintendent can click in, see an order, and at the very top, click Upright Approved by Operations once the order has been approved. The Family Service Advisor gets a notification automatically via email when an upright has been approved. On the Memorial Monitor main page, once a quote is attached into the order, the Family Service Advisor is notified, and this goes to 0 because the quote has been attached. To attach the quote, we simply expand the area, go into the order, and click where it says Quote Attached. Then it goes to the counselor for them to make the sale. Once a sale is complete, then they would begin the process of entering the new marker order form as you saw in the earlier video. So you've just heard that the memorial and/or base order starts by a family service advisor filling out a physical form. Now, with the new digital process through Airtable, this entire process can be done digitally. Let's look at what the old form used to look like as an example. This is a scanned-in example of a physical memorial order. Family service advisors have to fill out this form in its entirety, and one of the downsides is that this form asks all the relevant questions that could be relevant for any memorial order. In the new digital system through Airtable, only the pertinent questions that are relevant for this order are asked on the form. Together, we're going to look at entering this exact memorial order in the system through Airtable, and that will allow us to show you how the process will go from start to finish. Throughout the video, you will see how this translates from not only the family service advisor, the revisions from the family, the memorial desk, the installer on our grounds team, verifiers from our cemetery administration team, and lastly, you'll hear from our office manager of how this process has made us so much more efficient at our location. All right, let's begin. This is the memorial order form and ACV question. Every FSA fills out this form for every family that they meet with and/or any pre-need marker. So we do this for every family, every time. Let's enter an order together. In the past, all this information would have been on a physical form and handwritten. This allowed for points of failure due to interpretation of handwriting from the family service advisor to the marker desk. This allowed for mistakes because new advisors may miss key required items due to the form asking everything every time. Now, in the digital system, quality control has been corrected by requiring fields that are only needed for that specific type of memorialization. This allows for easy training because any advisor can go into the form and fill out just the information that's needed. Well, Christina, thanks so much for taking time as our marker desk here to talk to me about the new Airtable system.
Sure, no problem.
You know, we're used to these marker forms being this long piece of paper and entering all this information in. Now that it's digital, how have you seen that helped?
It's been great as far as helping eliminate errors. I don't have to worry about not being able to read somebody's handwriting. And the fill in the form, kind of fill in the blank template forces them to put the information in correctly in the first time. So it really cuts down on a lot of time and effort when it comes to me being able to just enter it.
Absolutely. I really appreciate that. When we were building this system together, I know accuracy was so important because this form asks everything and then the template only asks the things that are pertinent. And that accuracy is so critical, especially when we're dealing with such a sensitive things like final memorialization.
Right.
So now that you don't have to track down the team like we used to have to do together, how have you seen working with the Family Service Department?
Communication's improved a lot. If I have a question or an issue, I can just make a note in the comments or even derail it, send it back to them, and then they can get back to me with any corrections or any answers to my questions.
Yeah, I love that part.
Yeah.
I just like not having to go through and do all these reports and email it to each person. I think the automation is really nice.
Plus, too, I think the fact that the information is available for everybody to see. It used to be if somebody came up and said, "Where's my marker order at?" I'd say, "Hang on, let me check my 5 different spreadsheets," and it'll take me a little while. But now I can look really quick. I know where it is, and even they can look for themselves too.
Yeah, I think they feel empowered
Yes.
because they have that transparency and that visibility. You know, one thing with grounds is, especially up here, we're dealing with heat, cold, rain, snow like today. How have you seen this change helping grounds?
A lot, a lot. I used to have to put together sort of a little pile of papers for them to carry around. Now it's all digital. They can use their phones. I don't have to worry about the papers coming back to me or getting lost.
Great point.
Communication's improved a lot.
And I know you and I have spent plenty of time verifying markers, coming back, the papers are all wet, then we got to scan them in. Now it's all done digital. So I just want to tell you that I really appreciate your help in building the system, your teamwork, your time that you've spent. Really appreciate your time, Christina.
Oh, no problem. It's been great to be a part of it.
Let's take a look at what our Memorial Monitor main page and how this relates to our marker desk. This screen is where the marker desk will receive the order and all orders will show up as new orders not entered. Earlier, we showed entering the order for Mickey Mouse. Let's take a look at that order and share the process. We simply expand the area. When it loads, we click on Mickey Mouse and we can see the status and any applicable information for this order, as well as the counselor name, any comments, anything that may have been scanned, and pertinent information down below. While this may look like a lot, the Family Service Advisor will only see the information, the order that they've submitted. If there's anything wrong with the order or more information is needed, the marker desk can simply click the derail button. This derail button sends an email to the Family Service Counselor letting them know why this was derailed with any details inputted in derail reason. Then, if the order has been fixed, the Family Service Counselor can simply uncheck derail, address any concerns. Maybe there was a typo, maybe there was a missed digit in the contract number. All of that can then be fixed. Once the marker is ready for entering, the marker desk will take this information, upload a map. That way later on when we need the map for the process, it's already in the system. They will enter it in the applicable vendor portal, which can change based on your area and the company that we're working with. Once the order has been entered, they will check the box that it's been entered, complete the entered date. We'll say that's today. They can also input the marker order number from HMIS after they've gone ahead and created that. And they will also update the order URL with the applicable manufacturer. So we would be using Memorial Monuments for this order, and we would then paste in the URL from the vendor portal so that we can easily get back to this at any time later down the road. Any changes that need to be made are entered on the actual vendor portal, and counselors, family service advisors, are able to add their own revisions. That's that part of the process. Once an order is entered, we go back to the main page and we can see that now we've changed it and now it goes through the process. Once it's ready and been approved from the family, we then approve it in our system. So let's take a look at that order, how it would go from a family service counselor approving that order. So we'll go to my dashboard and we'll find that order, and we will upload a final approved proof. So let's say that this was the approved proof that we're uploading. Now it shows in the system. I've now uploaded that the proof has been approved. There's no revisions or changes that are needed. Now the order automatically goes back to the marker desk and will appear in the ready to approve portion. Once it's ready to be approved, we expand this area and we see the order has an approved proof and is ready to proceed. From here, we simply change the status that it's been approved once we approve this on the vendor portal and update the information in HMIS with applicable approval dates. This then starts the order in manufacturing, and you'll see that while there's a lot of details down at the bottom, no further information is needed. Depending on your area, some of our vendors do require that we enter a purchase order in SpendSmart. So we're going to go ahead and type that order here, and depending on your area and vendor, that may be required. And then it goes off of the approved and will now show in the next status in manufacturing. Next, we'll talk about what to do for the installation portion. Hey, Drew.
Hey,
How are
Tony.
you?
I'm doing great, Tony. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for meeting me out here to talk about our new marker system. Really
Yeah.
appreciate your time.
Of course. It's my pleasure.
So I know that you've been here for years and you're used to the normal marker system with the packet in your hand, the beautiful Seattle weather that we're having.
Yes.
Now that we've gone completely digital, how have you felt about the new system?
Well, I have to tell you, Tony, I appreciate the new digital system because this is what I was dealing with before. As you can see, it's all muddy, dirty, filthy. If it was raining right now, it'd be disintegrating on me. It'd be ridiculous.
That's right.
Now I just whip out my cell phone, which we all have these days. I go to Airtable, which Tony set up very nicely for us to have a paperless work order system. And I gotta tell you, it's working out really nice for me.
Awesome.
Take picture, yeah, you got it.
Easy. Yeah, I mean, it's a great system because now you can be out here paperless, even in the lovely weather that we're having, and it just makes your job and your life easier. So I just want to tell you, we appreciate what you do, and anything we can do to make your life a little easier, we're here to do it.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it.
Now let's take a look at how this appears for our installer. Once a memorial is ready to be installed, the grounds team receives a text message that it's ready to install. They head to their operations dashboard on the Airtable app, and you'll see there's a ready to install. They click into the field and they'll see our order that we've been tracking from start to finish. When they click into the order, they will be able to see all the helpful information they need just on their phone. They'll be able to see the proof with all the details to make sure it matches the memorial. They'll be able to see the scanned in blind check from the at-need arrangement conference. They'll be able to see the map and can zoom in to see all the details of the space. Then, after installed, they simply need to choose the installed date and take a photo for the installation. Once that's completed and uploads, our order is now done. They can head back to their dashboard and they will see that there's no orders ready to install because it's completed. Next, this will go to our admin verifying team to verify the marker is in the right place. Now, let's take a look at how this works for our admin team verifying the memorial. They will receive an email that the memorial has been installed and needs to be verified. They head to their Airtable app on their phone, go to the Memorial Monitor main page, and they will see a section that says To Verify. They click into the To Verify, they will see our order that we've been tracking. By clicking into the order, they can see that all the information, they can see the blind check, the map, the installed photo, the proof. They can see all of this right at a touch of their button. They go through and make sure it matches, and they'll simply type in their name or collect it from the list, the date that they verified it, and then they will take an additional photo showing that they have verified that the memorial is in the correct space. Once this uploads, the Family Service Advisor will be notified that the memorial is ready for the family to be contacted, that it's in the right place. Last step to make sure that we do is we change the status to verified. And that's as easy as it is to verify the memorial. We now can go to the Family Service Advisor who would have received an email to let the family know that their memorial has been installed and verified. If not contacted within 72 hours, the management team receives an email that the order is past due. Let's look at how easy it is to contact the family. We go to the Memorial Monitor dashboard where we can see the family service now has a section called To Contact. They simply expand that area and we can see our order. We can see the final approved proof, the blind check, the map, the installed photo, and the verified photo. Now, all we need to do is go to the bottom and we can see there's a section that we click, family contacted. Let's say we called, today's date, and who did the contacting. Once we've done that and let the family know, the order has now been contacted. It disappears from our dashboard and we'll go back to the memorial desk to deliver the items in HMIS and clear out the order. The last step of the process, now that the marker has been installed, verified, and the family has been contacted, is to deliver and finalize all the items in HMIS. To do this, the marker desk heads to the main page of the Memorial Monitor. They see that they now have an item in the HMIS delivery section. They'll also receive an email with the link to the order. They simply expand this section, and they need to use this information and scan in and upload into HMIS the documents. And all they need to do is at the very top, change from verified status to delivered and done once all the items are updated and logged and scanned into HMIS. Once they do that, it will disappear from the HMIS deliver, and we can see that we now have a memorial from start to finish, completely digital. Well, thanks, Tiffany, for spending a little bit of time as the office manager to talk to me about the new marker system. How have you seen it?
I have seen it as a great addition to our team.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I really find that, the team, usually there's a little bit of issues between family service and administration, tracking down paperwork and accuracy. How has this helped your team?
I can definitely tell you that my team no longer has to chase down the sales team, which they appreciate. It seems like communication is a lot better between admin and the sales team, and a lot of efficiencies are happening.
That's awesome. I know the team, any change is hard, but they really worked with us to make it better and better and tweaks along the way. How have you seen it in working with the grounds team?
Grounds definitely is enjoying this. They're able to get work orders done quickly. They're able to get information from Airtable to their phones in an instant, and stuff just happens a lot more quickly.
That's awesome. Well, I just want to thank you for your partnership. An office manager is such a critical role, and us working together to make this system, I just really appreciate it. So thanks for spending a little bit of time from your perspective to help us make this a better system. So just thank you.
Thank you.
You've heard from our team, and you've seen this process start to finish with our digital Airtable Memorial Monitor. This tracking system is incredibly powerful, and I would like to now take the time to show you that same main page and use the perspective of a leadership team or an office manager to see all the power that this dashboard in a single glance can provide to you. From this screen, not only does our family service advisor get clear visibility, our marker desk gets a complete access to the entire order system. But from a leadership standpoint, we can see where we're at in the process with any order. We can see orders that have not been entered yet and hold our team accountable to being timely. We can see any current orders that have been derailed and need corrections, any orders that are needing to be approved from the marker desk that do have a final approved proof. We can show any that our shop or our grounds team need to pull for second inscription. We will then be able to see if there's any still that need to be verified, like you heard from our verifying team, any that need to be contacted from our family service team, and any items that still need to be delivered in HMIS. Once this process has been done start to finish, you will see them appear in the all done category. So currently, we started this on January 1st. Currently, this is through about 35 days worth of live orders, and you can see that we have 70 orders in the system. Of those 70 orders, 38 are current and not yet approved, and 23 are already approved. We also show 22 are unpaid memorials. There's a separate section that you saw earlier on the quote system. So we do have one that still needs a quote attached to complete that. Any orders that are marked with a concern appear in orders with concerns. This gives all the way up the chain, including the general manager, access to see any orders that might be a concern, whether that's on the family side of the arrangements, maybe it's a tricky installation of the stone, maybe the memorial was damaged in transport. All of that orders with concerns will show up here. We can also go back and look at relevant quotes to see the quotes we've gotten in the past. And we have some really helpful graphs and data below. So we can see the current status of all of our memorials. We can see any that are unpaid, so counselors can follow up once a month. They will get an automated email letting them know all of their orders that are unpaid. Along the lines of status, every week, every family service advisor gets an automated email letting them know all the orders that they have that have not yet been approved. We can also see paid versus unpaid of all of our current orders and which of our manufacturers we're using for our orders. Keep in mind, any of these tabs on the entire dashboard we can drill into and expand and see any details that we'd like, all in one dashboard. We can also see the type of order, and we can see how we're doing setting the ACV in the arrangement conference, because remember, every family, every time we're filling out that initial memorial order and ACV question. In the last month that we've tracked this, we've gone from 17% of ACVs being set in the arrangement conference to 37. There's immense power in transparency and visibility, and having the team remember the importance of setting the arrangement, the ACV in the arrangement. We can also see current orders by counselor. We can see a pivot table showing us the process. And once a memorial is installed and verified, we'll be able to see start to finish how long it took for each family that we're currently serving. This is just a brief overview of the Memorial Monitor main tracking page. In a separate module or a detailed training, we can help system administrators customize the automations to their liking and the dashboard as well.